Welcome to Quotes Life Lesson, channel where wisdom meets inspiration. Today, we embark on a journey through the timeless words of one of history's greatest thinkers. Join us as we delve into the essence of Aristotle's philosophy, through 100 timeless quotes that resonate with truth and wisdom. Prepare to be inspired, as we journey through the mind of Aristotle. To avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. It is possible to fail in many ways, while to succeed is possible only in one way. He who is to be a good ruler must have first been ruled. Equality consists in the same treatment of similar persons. The high-minded man must care more for the truth than for what people think. The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal. The law is reason, free from passion. All paid jobs absorb and degrade the mind. Happiness is an expression of the soul in considered actions. My best friend is the man who in wishing me well wishes it for my sake. Every art and every inquiry, and similarly every action and choice, is thought to aim at some good, and for this reason the good has rightly been declared to be that at which all things aim. I have gained this from philosophy, that I do without being commanded what others do only from fear of the law. We cannot learn without pain. Education is an ornament in prosperity and a refuge in adversity. It is not enough to win a war, it is more important to organize the peace. Dignity does not consist in possessing honors, but in the consciousness that we deserve them. The virtue of justice consists in moderation, as regulated by wisdom. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. We acquire a particular quality by acting in a particular way. For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them. Bad people are in conflict with themselves, they desire one thing and will another, like the incontinent who choose harmful pleasures instead of what they themselves believe to be good. Young people are in a condition like permanent intoxication, because life is sweet and they are growing. Men acquire a particular quality by constantly acting a particular way. You become just by performing just actions, temperate by performing temperate actions, brave by performing brave actions. Nature does nothing in vain. It is not once nor twice but times without number that the same ideas make their appearance in the world. Friendship is a single soul dwelling in two bodies. It is absurd to hold that a man should be ashamed of an inability to defend himself with his limbs, but not ashamed of an inability to defend himself with speech and reason, for the use of rational speech is more distinctive of a human being than the use of his limbs. He who has overcome his fears will truly be free. Happiness depends upon ourselves. The happy life is thought to be one of excellence. Now an excellent life requires exertion, and does not consist in amusement. If eudaimonia, or happiness, is activity in accordance with excellence, it is reasonable that it should be in accordance with the highest excellence, and this will be that of the best thing in us. It is this simplicity that makes the uneducated more effective than the educated when addressing popular audiences, makes them, as the poets tell us, charm the crowd's ears more finely. Educated men lay down broad general principles, uneducated men argue from common knowledge and draw obvious conclusions. A tyrant must put on the appearance of uncommon devotion to religion. Subjects are less apprehensive of illegal treatment from a ruler whom they consider God-fearing and pious. On the other hand, they do less easily move against him, believing that he has the gods on his side. The actuality of thought is life. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living differ from the dead. Fear is pain arising from the anticipation of evil. Happiness is a state of activity. Now since shame is a mental picture of disgrace, in which we shrink from the disgrace itself and not from its consequences, and we only care what opinion is held of us because of the people who form that opinion, it follows that the people before whom we feel shame are those whose opinion of us matters to us. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. Whoever is delighted in solitude is either a wild beast or a god. Happiness does not lie in amusement. It would be strange if one were to take trouble and suffer hardship all one's life in order to amuse oneself. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Inferiors revolt in order that they may be equal, and equals that they may be superior. Such is the state of mind which creates revolutions. No one loves the man whom he fears. The one exclusive sign of thorough knowledge is the power of teaching. There is only one way to avoid criticism: do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. Whatever lies within our power to do lies also within our power not to do. Life is a gift of nature, but beautiful living is the gift of wisdom. There is no great genius without some touch of madness. Good habits formed at youth make all the difference. The quality of life is determined by its activities. Courage is the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees the others. Whatsoever that be within us that feels, thinks, desires, and animates, is something celestial, divine, and, consequently, imperishable. Wit is educated insolence. The greatest virtues are those which are most useful to other persons. The least initial deviation from the truth is multiplied later 1,000-fold. The soul never thinks without a picture. Hope is the dream of a waking man. Moral excellence comes about as a result of habit. We become just by doing just acts, temperate by doing temperate acts, brave by doing brave acts. It is of the nature of desire not to be satisfied, and most men live only for the gratification of it. Democracy arose from men's thinking that if they are equal in any respect, they are equal absolutely. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. What it lies in our power to do, it lies in our power not to do. All proofs rest on premises. You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind next to honor. Misfortune shows those who are not really friends. The proof that you know something is that you are able to teach it. Man is a goal-seeking animal. His life only has meaning if he is reaching out and striving for his goals. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Those who know, do. Those that understand, teach. The aim of the wise is to not secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. The ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. To be conscious that we are perceiving or thinking is to be conscious of our own existence. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. We give up leisure in order that we may have leisure, just as we go to war in order that we may have peace. All persons ought to endeavor to follow what is right, and not what is established. First, have a definite, clear practical ideal, a goal, an objective. Second, have the necessary means to achieve your ends, wisdom, money, materials, and methods. Third, adjust all your means to that end. Those who educate children well are more to be honored than they who produce them, for these only gave them life, those the art of living well. Time crumbles things, Everything grows old under the power of time and is forgotten through the lapse of time. Probable impossibilities are to be preferred to improbable possibilities. Poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. Through discipline comes freedom. It is easy to perform a good action, but not easy to acquire a settled habit of performing such actions. Hope is a waking dream. In all things of nature, there is something of the marvelous. It is well to be up before daybreak, for such habits contribute to health, wealth, and wisdom. No happy man can become miserable, for he will never do acts that are hateful and mean. Our judgments when we are pleased and friendly are not the same as when we are pained and hostile. He who cannot be a good follower cannot be a good leader. Anybody can become angry, that is easy, but to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time and for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power and is not easy. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but we rather have those because we have acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. Wicked men obey from fear, good men, from love. Happiness belongs to the self-sufficient. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Well begun is half done. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. We live in deeds, not years, in thoughts, not breaths, in feelings, not in figures on a dial. We should count time by heart throbs. He most lives who thinks most, feels the noblest, acts the best. Learning is not child's play, we cannot learn without pain. Wishing to be friends is quick work, but friendship is a slow ripening fruit. One thing alone not even God can do, to make undone whatever hath been done. The best friend is the man who in wishing me well wishes it for my sake. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected. Thank you for being a part of this journey towards enlightenment.